and also share my screen. Not this one. Let's see. I think this one. Okay. Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for this one, so there are a total of 5 tasks. Okay. So so basically some weeks have their tasks, some weeks don't have. So basically 2 of the weeks don't have that. I think the last 2 weeks, the GUI and the week 6 and week 7, I think. Not this one. Is it this one? Okay, week 6 and week 7 we won't have tasks because there's the two last week, the last 2 class is going to be you guys doing the group project. Okay? So we only have 5 tasks in total. Okay. How are you going to do the coding? Okay, as you can see, and I'll give this also in the group as well as in my GitHub. Okay, so I'll give you my is it repository? I don't remember. Basically, I'm going to share you my repository for this task. Okay, so as you can see, we have from here we have like, okay, we have the task number on the left side, which is task 1A, task 1C, task 1, actually one task 1A, task 1B, task 1C. Okay, so for task 1A, you can see there are marks inside them. So this is basically how much does that problem worth. Okay, so and then we have the task description, and then we have the input. Okay, so the task description is basically the problem statement. So for example, create a program that asks the user to provide a number n. Then the user needs to provide another n numerical inputs to be stored in an array. The program needs to output the following. So we have these 5 things. So and then from here, on the rightmost, you can see there is an input or appended code. Okay, I'll start with the input first. For the input, basically what does this means is that when I run your code, when I want to evaluate your code, I will run your code and then I will input this number. Okay, so I put 5 and then 2 5 1 9 2, and then for input 2 you have 7 1.3 5 2 1.5 9.8 0.4 and 6, and then the third one is 9 negative 2.3 until negative 1.9. Same goes with task 1C, task 1B, task 1E, task 1C, like that. Okay. And then another thing that you need to consider is that please read this. Write each task in separate Python files. There are some tasks that you need to do it in one file, and there are some tasks that you need to put in a separate file. Okay. For example, task number 2, which is next week, you have to do all tasks in one Python file because all these tasks I'm going to see whether you guys do it correctly or not for each of these problems that is shown there. And for the appended code, okay, what does this means is that before I start your code, I will add these lines of code at the end of your coding. Okay, meaning that you just need to provide me the template or the template of your coding, and when I want to evaluate, I will just put all this code into your coding to check whether you guys get it correct or not. Okay, so that's how I will check. Oh, and as well for 2 marks and 3 marks, it usually depends. If you do it successfully and follows what is mentioned in the task description, you get full marks. That is the end goal. But if somehow you did not manage, but at least you have an effort, I will at least give you 1 mark. Okay, so at least you showed me that you did, or you showed me you put add to start, but the add to start is empty. It's okay, I'll just put 1 mark like that. but not at just add to start lah. You have to provide me add to start, display list, and count. So if you show these three, even though the content is empty, I'll just give you 1 mark. But to make sure you get the full marks, you have to make sure that they work. They work perfectly. For 3 marks and above, there might be some divisions lah. Maybe this one works but not perfectly, or maybe this one is almost good but there are some minor errors. So that is another story. Okay, but most of it, if you do your coding, I will give you mark. If you don't do your coding, I won't give you any marks. Okay. So how are you guys going to submit? So you guys are going to put it on the GitHub. Okay. So for the GitHub, I will after the class I will mention how you guys want to upload the GitHub, and then afterwards I'm going to update your carry mark. I'm going to update your carry mark. I'm going to evaluate your coding and put your carry marks semi-live, because I'm going to share the Google Sheets with Madam. I'm not sure whether I want to share with Madam or I want to share with the groups, so you can see which part you guys get wrong. Why do you get this mark? Why you get this mark? Why you get this mark? Okay, so basic. Enough with that. I'll continue after we've gone through the basic of Python. And then we'll go back to the housekeeping announcement. Okay. So are you guys ready to learn Python?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. One more thing before I forgot. Uh, at times, because another thing, I'm going to record this session, okay, but not using the Teams lah. I'm recording using external source, and then I'm going to upload it on YouTube, probably on my channel, I suppose. So you guys who wants to recap, I will give you the link for you guys to recap the class. But during the so that you can refresh your memory. As for the attendance, okay, I'm not sure whether Madam is going to check or not, but for me, personally, I'm going to provide you another Google form for the class attendance, okay? And for you guys to fill up the attendance, during the class, okay, I'm going to share you the magic word, okay? Since previously I used the term session code, people might get confused. So let me just use the magic word where you have to put it inside the Google form. Okay, I will show you the magic word and you have to put the magic word inside the Google form that I'm going to share it with you later on. Okay?
Yeah, sure. We'll consider attendance. It's important because, yeah. So I'm gonna use the same attendant that you're using
Okay,
for
good.
the class, inshallah.
Okay, sure. I'll provide you the classroom list lah for the attendance. Okay. Okay. So without further ado, I'll for the students, for the rest, I'll give you the magic word, maybe in the middle of teaching. Okay. So don't worry, and as well as the what do you call it, the Google form. Why not I just give it to you now? That might be easier. Okay. So let me just copy this. Let me just send it here. Okay, this is the I've sent you the link for the Google form of the class attendance. Okay. Okay. Now where was I? Okay. So before we go, So Python, let's begin with introducing ourselves with Python. Okay, Python is one of the programming language that is you can call it as the most beginner friendly, because most of the syntax are not so, what do you call it, not so strict, you know. The only thing that you need to consider is the indentation, because I'm not sure if you guys have learned in C++ or C, but in C++ or C or the lower end language, uh, they are pretty peculiar, pretty much strict with the syntax, where you have to put the semicolon at the end, you have to put this syntax for it to work. But for Python, it's okay. There are many, what do you call it, leniency. The only thing that you need to consider is the indentation. What does indentation means? Let me just zoom into where it's been a while. There, this one. Alt Shift. What do I mean by indentation is this. This is what I meant by indentation, where you tap one space in front, tap one space in front, tap one space in front, because that signifies that you are grouping them into a different group, into one chunk of a code. Okay, so for example, like this one, if, and then we have print. Let's say if I want to, if I remove the indentation of the line 27, so basically what does this means is that if A is greater than B, then we have to print A is larger than B and print yes. But if A is less than B, regardless of anything, they will still print yes, if A is less than B. So that's why we need to indent this, so that the first print, the line 26 and line 27, are considered as a group of coding, a group of a block of coding, a block of code. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just jumping around, so let's just start with the first one. So the first one is how to comment. If anything goes wrong, or if some line just feels so weird, you can just comment them by just either one, you put a hash before it. Okay, a hashtag. Okay, so this is how you comment. This is a comment. Another way to do it is that you press Ctrl and slash at the same time. So you get this. Okay, but it toggles. Control plus slash means you are toggling. Like that. Okay, this is this is toggle comment. If you just want to comment like this, another good thing, let's say if you want to comment the whole block, you select all of them, you comment, and you get this. Also can. So that is the first one. Now the second one, print output. Okay, the second one is how we are going to show something. So we want them.
Sorry, Eczema, before we go, everybody got Python downloaded or not?
I forgot.
Python downloaded.
I almost forgot.
Can I hear you guys?
Yes.
Yes,
okay,
we do.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Have you guys
good.
downloaded it? Okay, good.
That it will be like everybody is on the same page. All right.
Okay, good.
Let's move
Thank
on.
you, madam. I forgot about about the Python. So speaking of Python, you need to download Interpreter 3.1 and above and latest. Okay, so because that's what I've used for my previous semesters. But if you use the later one, you need to read the documentation carefully, because it might not be a big one, but it might be just a minor one, I think. Just a minor changes between us. So just read the documentation if you want to use the latest one. Okay. And then for the IDE, I would recommend using PyCharm, because PyCharm is lets you compile and debug your coding. It lets you compile and debug your coding. and see where does it go wrong, or where does it goes wrong, so that you can fix them. Okay, so now with that Python aside, let us with that housekeeping aside, let us continue with the lesson. Okay, so if you want to print something, you need to put print in bracket, double quote or single quote, output, any output that you want. So if you run this, let me just, if you run this, you have output like this. Just ignore the following. We'll touch on that later. Okay, so let's say if I want to change, let's say I want to change to 10. If I rerun, it will change to 10. If I put IIUM, it will also show IIUM. This is basically the basic theme. So for initialization, I think we can just skip this. So this is how you do the initialization. So you put one variable equals to a value. This is a value. B equals to 54321. And if you want to print again, so there are several, you can print all of them in one print line. Okay, so this is how you do it. You separate each of the values by a comma, and what do you get? 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and yes. So basically they will print out each of the values separated by space. Okay, and then for number 9, this is how you do the swapping and assigning multiple values. So for example, if you want to want to swap between two values, so A and B equals to B and A, Q equals to CIE. Okay, why do they do this? Because it's basically this is Python, it's easier now. So traditionally, in other programming language, you have to introduce a new variable. For example, temp var temp variable equals to A, B equals to temp variable, A equals to B. This is how you traditionally swap between two values. But in Python, you don't have to worry. You just change A comma B equals to B comma A. Just reverse the order. You can also do it like this. A, B, C equals to, you change B comma C comma A. Also can. But for this one, there are no C here. So we'll just remove it lah. Like that. And let's say if you want to assign multiple values, basically I've shown you the ni. So when we print it again, you will get 54321 space 12345 space CIE. Okay. Now, how about this one? For this one, we have learned how to assign a value. We have learned how to output a value. Now we are going to learn how to input a value. So basically what do we do is that we need to put a value, a variable equals to input. Input basically input an input function where it prompts us to input a value. Okay, and you can see that I've comment here. This function assumes the input to be a string. So if I put let's say IIUM, so this is a string input. But let's say, but how do you want to change it to float number or an integer? You put a, I don't remember what's the terminology here, but basically we force the input to become a float, or you force the input to become an integer. There are several other things, several other functions. We have float, we have int, mostly these two, this float and int. One is for precisions, one is for just a solid whole numbers. So let us continue. So if you want to put a number, I put, let's say, 2023. So so it says here IIM is the input while 2023 is the integer input. But if you notice here, they have 0.0, which means that I have changed the input into a floating number. Okay. And then we are going to learn about the data types. We have Boolean. Just now we have learned about the string. We have learned about numbers, which is integer and floats. Now we are going to learn about Boolean. We have yes, which is true, no, which is false. The value is true and the false is another value. And then this one is the string. Name is data structure and algorithm. This is a string. Okay. When we print them, we get true, false, and then data structure and algorithm. Okay. So this is how you print out the Boolean and how you use the Boolean. Why do we need Boolean, which is true or false? Because in programming world, there is a lot of if and else. So speaking of if and else, now we are going for if, elif, and else statement. What is if? Pretty much you guys know what is if. You guys also know what is else. How about elif? Elif means else if. Like I've shown here, elif is else if. So this is how you want to do the statements. If A is larger than B, then if it is true, then the following block of code is going to be executed. So we are going to say A is larger than B. Then we will print yes. But let's say if A is less than B, for example, I put A, comma B equals to B, comma A. So one. So if we turn here, they will say B is larger than A. They have gone through the the elif statement. But let's say if A and B, A is equals to B, so another thing will happen. They will say that A is equals to B. A and B are equal. Okay, so far do you guys understand? I think this is basically the basics that we have covered so far. Is there anything you want to ask before we proceed? If no, okay, no question, so we'll proceed. Now we are going to learn about the operators. So we have several values here. Okay, I chose 13 and 2 because I want to show you what do we get. Okay, so if you have seen here, 13 plus 2 is the addition one. So 13 plus 2 is 15. If you minus them, it becomes 11. If you times them, it becomes 26. Okay, and if you divide them, 13 divided by 2, it is 6.5. So 6.5 is the division. However, the following is a bit different, where 13 modulo, this is modulo, okay? 13 modulo 2 means if you divide 13 by 2, you will have some kind of a number with a remainder. Modulo will consider only the remainder. So 13 modulo 2 means 13 divided by 2 give a remainder of 1. That is what it means by modulus. And then we have exponentiation. Exponentiation is basically powers of what? So 13 to the powers of 2 means 13 times 3. It becomes 169. Okay? And finally, the floor division. What does it mean by floor division? Basically, when you put double slash, it means that you are going to divide 13 by 2 and we are going to take only the result, not the remainder. Okay, if you divide it blindly, you will get 6.5, but if you divide it, divide it, if you divide it and change it into an integer, you will only get 6. There's no point at the back. Okay, so that these are the operators. Oh, I forgot to mention. This is another one is the comparator. We have the greater than, we have the lesser than. Oh, I did not teach you about and or. Okay, we'll get to that later. Okay. Okay, so we have done with the operators. I'll add another one for the comparators. I'm not sure whether comparator is the right terms for that. I mean, it's been a while, but is where you have to deal with the and, the or, basically the logic gates of things, and or, XOR, and so on. But I don't think we have uh, we have gone in depth for that part. But it's not a bad thing to learn, right? Okay, we have done the operators, we have done the if else, we have done much of the things. Let us go for the for loop. As for the for loop, we have as for the loops, we have two types of loop. We have for loop and we have while loop. We don't have do while loop apparently in this case. So what do we do? For the for loop, it is more on the numerical increment. So for I in range 6, I in range 3, or for I in range 6 to 10. I'm not sure if you can do the array stuff, but I will try. For I in range 3, okay. So what does it means that uh basically we set I to become 0 because if the range is only have one parameter, then the I will start from 0 and it goes up until 3, but it does not hit 3. It hits 3. It hits 3. Let me just take a look again. Oh, it starts from 1. Oh, I forgot. I put the +1 here. Okay, I forgot. Okay, so if we remove the +1 here, it starts from 0. Okay, so if I run this again, I forgot that it starts from 0. And I put the +1 inside the statement. So if you do it without the +1 here, like I shown you before, so you do loop A is repeated 0 times, loop A is repeated 1 times, loop A is repeated 2 times. You will notice that it does not hit 3 because it starts from 0 up until 3, but it does not touch 3. It does not hit 3. So that's why I put +1 in front, so that I can see, oh, it's repeated 1 times. Okay. And then for the second one, for I in range 6 to 10, when there are two parameters, so basically you have told the range function, okay, you have an initial value, which is 6. So I want you to loop from 6 up until 10, but you cannot hit 10. So you go, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9. Does it hit 10? No, it does not hit 10. Okay. Also, there's another use for loops. I'm not sure, but I'm just trying here. For I in, let's say, data Python. Let's say Python. Print the letter is comma I. So let me just test this first. You can also use for loop for looping strings or looping arrays. You can also use that. So if you see here, it outputs all the letters from P until N. The letter is P, the letter is Y, the letter is T, the letter is H, and the letter is, until the letter is N. Looping strings. Looping a string. Let's say if you want to put an array, for example, so R equals, we'll talk about array later, 12, 51, 85, 19, 28. Okay, so what you can do, you can try for I in R, print 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 I, for example. So we'll run this again. And it runs. So you can do this, you can use this for loop to loop around an array, to loop around a numerical increase, or to loop around a string. So there are several ways to use this. Looping an array. Okay. So now let us go for while loop. We have done for the for loop. Let us go for while loop. For while loop, it's a bit different because a while loop is basically you have to define your own loops. What will be your, basically you have the initialization, you have the increment or the changes, the update, and the third one is the checking, whether it satisfies the condition or not. So what does it mean by that? So for example, I equals to 1, this is the initializing part, initialize. While I less than 10, so means that as long as I is less than 10, so this is the checking part. So what do we do? Total plus I. Total, we increase the total by the value I. So total plus 1 and then plus 2 plus 3 until up until 9. And then what do we do? This is the updates. We update the I, whether we want to increase them by 1 or we want to change the value of I to whatever we want. So while loop is a bit can be powerful if you know how to use it in certain cases. Pretty much this, for this one, you it can be useful in recursion. It could be useful. Okay, so this is the while loop. So far, do you guys understand? I'm afraid I'm a bit too fast.
Okay.
Okay, let us take 5. Just for you to understand, and maybe you want to try it yourself first before you ask. Let me just close my camera. Okay, so have you guys rested enough before we proceed?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So for the next one, we are going to learn a bit about functions. I'm not going in depth with functions. Okay. So what do we do? What do we do? Okay, function is basically you want to group a block, several blocks of code into a one repeatable function. Okay, you can call this function like a submachine of a large program, where let's say you want to do, okay, what do? You define add two numbers, which is add the numbers here, and then you will notice that there are some parameters inside them. Okay, one of them have no initialization, one of them have one initialization. You can do neither. Okay, add to number a comma b. Okay, which means you need, what does it means is that you have to provide two parameters to the function that you are calling. Okay, so if you run this, why do we get an error? Because in add two numbers and 10 comma, this one, the line 72, we are giving one parameter, but the function that we are defining needs two parameters. Okay, so that it becomes a problem. So what we can do is that, let's say for some functions, you don't want to give too many functions, too many parameters. So what you can do, you can default some of them. You can initialize some of them to become a default value that you want. So for example, what I do is, okay, let's say I want to call add to numbers, but I don't want to give two parameters. I just want to give one. So the second parameter, what do? I just default them. I just set the b to be initialized to 1. So that what happened when I run this code, the print to number, add to number 10 and 5, you get 15. But if I just give 10, I don't give the 5. Okay, so the function will say, oh, this guy does not give me another number, so I'll just use the number 1 that is default, that is already given before. So 10 plus 1 equals to 11. Okay, and as you can see, I have commented line 73. This is the case where I don't give any parameters, so the A won't get any parameter that he wants. So the function will go for an error. And last but not least, we have the function that does not have a return value, which is define say hello, print hello world. For line 65, we have a return function, which is return a plus b. For 68, we don't have a return function. What does a return function means? A return means meaning that after a function has done their operation, has done their work, what do we expect for this function to give back to us? So add two numbers, we are expecting this function to return the sum of the two numbers that we give them. Whereas for say hello, we don't expect any value in return, but we just ask them to say hello world. That's all. Okay? So that is basically all of, not all, basically most of the functions, most of the basics that you will use a lot in Python. Okay. The one that the operators, I think I can touch a bit code. For example, let me just comparators. I'm not sure whether this is the correct term, but I'm just using the comparison. What's that word? The comparators. So let's say yes is true. Again, we although I have already assigned, let's just do this again. False. If yes, and yes, print yes. Oh wait, just do this. Print yes and yes. Print yes and no. Let me just copy this. No and no. No and yes. No and no. There's also another one which is or. Basically, or and then we have another one is print not yes, print not no. Do we have XOR? XOR? Yes. Oh, we don't have. Do we have also NAND? NAND? No, we don't have. So this is another basic logic gates that you can use. Okay. If yes, if print yes, print no, yada yada. I think I want to put print yes. Not. Copy. Print. And or and not. Pretty much you guys know what does not means, meaning that we basically we invert. Okay, so for example, we start with not. So we know that yes is a true one, but if we say not yes means false. If we say not no means true, which is because no is false. We want not false. So what does not false mean? It means true. How about or and? For or, basically, as long as there is a yes, there is a true statement within, so it will be true. So I'll give you an example, an easy example. 2 is an even number. 3 is an even number. 2 is an even number, or 3 is an even number. 3 is not an even number, but 2 is an even number. So since we are doing with or, as long as one of them is true, then we can say yes, it is correct. One of them is true. But for and, you need both of the statement to be true for the result to be true as well. That's why you see in and, if there is a no, it means no. For or, if there is a yes, then it means yes. Easy, right? And for not, as long as there is a yes, not is basically you say the opposite. So if the statement say yes, you say no. If the statement say no, you say yes. Like that. Okay? So that's for the comparators. Is there any more that you want to ask for the lesson? No? No. Okay. So now we have done with the basic Python. Okay. Before we move further, let me just demonstrate to you that by the end, I should have said this in the beginning of the class. By the end of this course, you guys remember that you have to do your project, right? And your project needs to have a graphic user interface, meaning that, what does it means? If you see all this, the one that I run here, this one, right? This is not graphic user interface. This is a very horrible graphic user interface, because this is basically a log file. What does it mean by a graphic user interface? Is that, or basically what do I expect from you guys to do your project is, let me just show you, is to create a program that have their own graphic user interface. What is a graphic user interface? This is the graphic user interface. You can see here. Okay, for example, it might be a bit small for you guys, but basically, this is, I'm not sure what does this thing do, but basically it prompts you to put something. So, hey, I just put hey. If I click me, so it shows hey has been entered. Or for example, I put what do you call it, Ramadan. If I click me, if I push the button click me, it means that so you can see from the log it shows hey and Ramadan, and from here it shows, oh, Ramadan has been entered. This is the difference. This is the log file, the hey Ramadan, but this is the actual input that I want to see in your project. Okay, there are some other projects that I did actually, so let me just show you this one. This is another simple one where it asks you to add two numbers together, but look at how much coding you need to do. The addition part is just this part. This is the only addition part. The rest is the GUI part. Okay. So for example, I want to add two numbers, 10, 20. I add them together, so they tell me the sum of 10 and 20 is 30. The sum of 10 and 20 is 30. Okay. But this one is just the simple one.
Aziman, I have observation on the.
What?
Can you show the GUI this thing you did just now? Can you run it again?
This one. Okay.
Okay, so just do the addition back.
Okay, the addition. Okay, let's say 2, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, I got this.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't see this because maybe my eyes was very far. I was thinking the result that the sum of 23 and
Uh,
oh no, 2334 something, right?
uh-huh.
And this is so okay. I was thinking it's also a button. I didn't know it's just as answer down there. Okay, okay,
Oh,
it's
okay, okay,
okay.
okay.
Uh,
So,
yeah,
I
because
mean,
I was thinking the answer is still it's also on the button.
oh, it's not
Okay.
on the button. It's not on the button.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's say if I want to change the answer, I put another number, I add them together, and the result is different now. Uh, I put another number, 6, 8, I get another number. I don't know why do I put 5 here. Let me just take a look. Oh, okay. Okay. I put the run thing. Why did I put 5? Oh, because of this. Because of this. It's okay. This later on, I will teach you this. Actually, this is the hard one, but I demonstrated the easier one here. The demonstration also here. Demo take into. I remember. So I think that's all for the basic of Python. Before we end our class, before we go back to the uh, housekeeping housekeeping matters, let me just tell you the magic word. So this is the magic word that you need to put inside your Google form. What is Python? This is the magic word. So how you want to put it? Okay, when you log in, you're going to see this interface, not this interface. I'll just do the preview one. Okay, so you put I am Python class attendance. So you put your full name, you put your metric number, you select your class. So we have 7 classes. You choose class number 1 because it is the introduction to Python. And then you put the magic word here. Okay, this is where you put the magic word. Okay, and then you need to tell me what have you learned from the session, from the class. Okay, so just state only one lah. Maybe you can say Python is interesting, or maybe I have learned that operators are like this also can. Okay, I don't want to. I would. If you want to give more, it's okay. Also can, but I would read all. I would read all of them lah. Okay. Oh, sorry. That is that is another magic word that you guys should not take a look. But basically that. Mm-mm. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Is there any questions you wanna ask? Oh yeah, I just
Yes.
remembered about the. Is it the
I have a
GitHub thing?
question.
What question?
For the task that you showed, like, will they be something that we do in between the 2 sessions so that if you give it today, we submit it by the next class, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'll provide. I'll give you the task. Maybe not one by one. Maybe I'll give you all the tasks, and you just do them one by one before the next class.
Okay.
Basically.
Thank you.
So I'll send you that, and also yeah, I just remember about the GitHub. Where is the GitHub thing? Let me see. Okay, so the code for today is what is Python. Don't forget that. It's been a while. Let me just sign in again. Wait a second. Just give me a moment. Oh, by the way, don't worry about the class being a bit too long, because usually the lab is 3 hours, right? I won't be going for the whole 3 hours, but for sure I only maybe just 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, because the remaining will be you guys doing the coding on your own. And if there's anything, you can ask me through the WhatsApp, or you can ask me right now also can. Like you don't understand this part or you have some problems, also can. Okay? Give me a moment. Okay, now I'm in. It's been a while. Let's see, which is the class? Okay, back to here. Okay, so this is basically my my GitHub account. It has been a while since I've opened my GitHub account. Which is the last time is on April of 27th, is it? Basically around the time the previous semester's class. Okay, so for this one, let me just look at it. Is it this one? Not this. I think it's this one. Yep, it's this one. So this is all the coding lessons for my class, for the demonstration class. Okay. So here, I don't, if you notice there is a catis problem, just don't mind that, because I don't think that serves the purpose. But if you want to try, then I would gladly, what do you call it? I would welcome you guys to try the website where you have to create your account and try to solve all the programming problems there. Okay. So in this repository, I've made it public, so you can see that I've put all the tasks here, but I haven't update this thing yet. So let me just change this. Is there a way to delete this? Okay, good. Not this one. So back to here. Oh, not this one. Wait. Okay, let me just add some files. So I'll put the files here and also in your in the group WhatsApp group for you guys to see. So what you can what tasks you have to do before the next week, because during before next week, I basically our next class is Tuesday night. So the day before, I will be checking your I will evaluate your coding and I will update your marks. Okay? And then after that 1 week, you have another 1 week to fix your coding. Okay, so 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 basically in total you have 2 weeks. The first week for you to try the coding, to do your coding for the first time. I will check it and I will give you points, give you scores based on your coding. If you are not satisfied, if you want to fix your code, you can ask me what should you fix, which part of the coding that you could fix, so that I can improve your marks. So so you have another 1 week to fix your coding for me to give more marks. Okay, and after that you cannot do that task again because I won't check it. Okay, so for task number one, I'll give you 2 weeks. I'll give you 1 week until next week for you to do, and then another 1 week for you to uh, fix your coding. If somehow your coding is have something that needs to be fixed. Okay. And then for the lesson, where did I put this?
Are the tasks like individual?
Your task is going to be in groups. I don't have time to check individual coding, so I will just check it for groups. Mm-mm.
Okay. So one submission per group then, right?
One submission per group. How do you want to do the submission? Is basically you guys do your repositories, you create your account, okay? You create your repository where you put all your coding there. Okay, for example, this is mine. Okay. After that, you go to the settings. You go to, let me just take a look. Which I, oh, they have changed a lot. They have changed a lot. I don't remember which. This one. You go to settings, you go to collaborators, you add me there. You have since my repository is public, so you guys can see my repo. You guys can see, but you cannot change. Okay, just search Chetano, which is my handle, my GitHub handle, and you can get all the coding there. But for you guys to share your coding with me, for me to check, is create your own repository as a group, add all your team members in that group, and you need to add me as well for me to check your coding. Okay. And another thing is that when you create your repository, you will notice the readme.md file here. Please put your group name here. So for example, I put it here. Put your group name and your group members, including their metric number. Okay, your group name, your group members, including their metric number here. So for example, group name, member 1, metric number, and so on and so forth. So after you have added, you commit changes. Okay, create no commit changes, and you will see when you return they will change. Metric member 1, metric number, dot 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 dot, like that. But for this one I will revert back lah, because I don't want to see, I want to see my name. DSA IIUM KOE Python class is where all the resources will be. Class resources will be uploaded. So I commit changes and then I return here Let me get this. Terima kasih. Okay, so we get this. So you have the task here, you have the lessons. I'm pretty sure I haven't updated this yet. I'll update it later lah. I'll update all of the coding once I have finished, I think. Yep, once I finish. Okay, is there any more questions that you want to ask?
No.
No. Others?
No question from me.
No question. Okay. So if there's no question, so make sure you guys make into groups. I don't know how many groups Madam Rashida will assign you guys. So just create a group.
No, they already have group,
Oh, they
right?
okay. So if you guys
There is,
already have group,
3 in a group, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true, Jalo?
My group is 3, but some other groups are more than 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Faisal,
Okay.
how many of you in a group? Faisal?
Yes.
How many of you in a group? Your own group?
Yeah, 3 people.
3, right?
3 people.
Okay. So I think most of the group are 3 because the class is not a big class. It's like about I think it's like about 4 groups.
oh, there's
Yeah,
only
no
12
more than
people.
12, yes. It's
I
about
see.
4 groups.
I see.
So it's a small class. So I think inshallah there won't be much problem.
I see.
I think only one person is missing tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Where is Wishal? Wishal is not here, and there is another person. Okay, so and there is Khalid also. So okay, no problem. Since you are taking attendance, so we use that as attendance.
Yep, I'll be taking this as attendance. Yep, only a total of 10 people, I think. Yep, 1, 2.
Okay, 10.
Yep, 10 people.
10. So one person is missing. Who hasn't signed the attendance?
Any one of you who haven't signed the attendance? So let me just read how to comment in my job. How comparators work, the basic of Python, hashtag to comment. I learned something new. Elif is else if. Yes, correct. How to add 2 variables to using Python. Okay, good. So Haziq, Razak, Muhammad, Haris, Daniel. Oh, all the numbers are 1, 9, 20, 17. Oh, there's still 17 here. I thought 17 already graduate. 20.
Where is Adam? Adam also. I think Adam is in this class. Faris, is Adam in your group?
No, madam. Adam is in a different group.
Who is Adam's group here? Adam and there is this Hashir. Where is Hashir?
Yes, madam. Madam, hello.
Ah.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
How many of you in a group, Hashir?
My group has 4 people, madam, including Adam. Adam with me, beside me.
Hello.
Adam. Oh, okay.
Don't forget to
Your name. You didn't sign. You didn't sign. You see. So to mark you absent, why don't you sign in directly?
Just sign in. This is Google Classroom.
You said what?
Just sign in.
Mama Adam, you need to. Okay. All right.
All right. If that's all, let me just recap the tasks for this week. Oh, I forgot to mention. For next week, I will be in Sabah from Tuesday next week until the following Monday the following week. So I'm not sure if I can conduct the class on Tuesday night. Uh, if so, is it okay that we conduct the class on Monday night? I will still for those who can attend, I will it's okay. It's okay. For those who cannot, I will provide you the recording so you can attend the class later on. Is it okay for that? Since next week I'm going to Sabah for
So like during normal class time, like from 2 p.m.
No, we don't have any normal time again. No 2 p.m. All our class is moved online.
No,
but
I said since he said he'll be busy, so like that day, I said if he'll be
just for next week, just for next week.
yeah. But what time will it be?
So you can attend, you can join the class during normal class lah. You can attend, you can watch the recording during your normal class and do the attendance during that time. But if you want to join the Monday night, also can. I will still we will still consider that as attendance. Basically, it's asynchronous. Is it okay?
Do you guys understand what he's saying? Like he's not around on Tuesday, so we're moving the session to Monday night.
Temporarily.
Same time, temporarily for just next week. So if you don't have anything that has been pre-organized or pre-planned for Monday, you can just understand. You can attend interactively just as we are right now. If you have something which is very, very important that you cannot be, synchronously attending like this, then you can attend asynchronous on Tuesday like this with the video that has been pre-recorded the previous day, that's on Monday. So then you can do the tasks and then you will now be able to sign your attendance. Basically, the whole thing is about realization. It depends on how you take it. If you really love to program, then it's not something big deal at any time, at anywhere. And if you have any issues, you can ask him or you can ask me as well. Right? So if we can discuss that on the WhatsApp group. For if we can have up to 50% of the class for Monday, then that would be good. So we take it Monday, and whoever is not attending, we just watch the video on Tuesday. Yeah, or at any time he or she wants to watch.
And later for the next week for task 1, I'll just mark your coding maybe on a later time, and then probably I can share. Oh, madam, can I have the class list?
Yeah, sure.
For the
I'll
carry
send
mark
to you.
thing. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So please do so. Thank you very much. Yeah, if there's nothing else, so I think we'll see again inshallah next Monday. If you are not free, maybe we can meet again the following Tuesday. Yeah. So is there anything any last questions before we end our class? And stop let me just stop the recording.